I'm Gabriela Fresquez for Radar 2021. The Latinx community generates $2.6 trillion in GDP per year in the U.S. today. That's larger than Brazil and over twice the size of Mexico. Despite this, we've been overlooked as consumers, all to the misfortune of corporate quarterly profits everywhere. Today, a growing number of Latinx entrepreneurs are female, the majority lean younger, and we're opportunity-driven, dispelling the misconception that Latinx entrepreneurs start businesses purely out of necessity. And if there is an element of necessity for Latinx business owners, it's in creating products that appeal directly to our community. You know, beyond selling giant tortilla blankets on Amazon or Frida Kahlo nail polish at CVS or slapping a sugar skull onto a graphic tee at Walmart. Not that I have anything against wrapping yourself up like a giant burrito. I've tried it and I wholeheartedly recommend. In some industries, like the multi-billion-dollar gaming world where we're still virtually non-existent, appealing to our community authentically requires a little more effort and creativity. Like when Paola Garces created Aluna, a comic book series turned video game featuring a Colombian warrior daughter of a Spanish conquistador and a South American nature goddess. A fictional character us bicultural kids can definitely relate to.
Hi, I'm Paola Garces, and I'm an actress, creator, writer, producer, and now a TV director.
You may know Paola from Netflix's On My Block, but she's also the creator of an independent Latina superhero franchise.
So my comic book is called Aluna, and I have one of the books here with me. I'm humbly taking this title as the first Latina superhero to be created by a Latina, produced independently by a Latina, and now she's a video game on Nintendo Switch and on Steam.
Paola developed Aluna out of a lack of representation of Latina superheroes.
So back in 2008, I went to my first Comic-Con here in San Diego, California. I was super impressed, so happy to be there, but very quickly realized that there were like no Latino or Latina or Latinx superheroes. And I was extremely disappointed because we Latinos were there in droves and spending a lot of money on projects that really didn't represent us. But people around me who love me and they know they inspire me, they were like, don't complain about it, create your own character. And so that's what I did.
The Colombian-American creator draws inspiration from the history of Latin America in the 16th century.
We all know all of the, the gods of the Greek mythology, but we know nothing about, again, South America, Central America, and the Caribbean. Aluna is half goddess, Pachamama, so she has native in her, and half Spaniard conquistadora. She has to escape persecution in Spain because she's branded a witch because she's showing like superpower abilities. She goes back to the New World. She's horrified and she is forced to become a warrior and trying to save her people.
With the success of Aluna, she encourages other people to follow their creative dreams.
There was a lot of people who didn't believe that a woman had any business whatsoever in the comic book space, in the video game space. You're gonna get a lot of no's still, even with doors opening. So when that one yes comes along, you've better really be prepared and come with it.
Paola Garces is not only a trailblazer for Latinas in gaming, she's changing the perception of Latina heroines as purely a sex symbol to one of warrior goddess level strength and power. I feel seen. Recognizing the strength of Latinx women is something 29-year-old CEO Patty Delgado can relate to. Her business, Hija de tu Madre, is a Latina lifestyle brand that designs apparel and accessories for women that take their culture everywhere. The self-taught designer and daughter of Mexican immigrants is committed to incorporating her multicultural identity in every product she creates.
I founded Hija de tu Madre in the fall of 2016 because I was on a mission to create a brand that really understood my identity and really spoke to my Latinx community. I'm the daughter of two Mexican immigrants from Jalisco, Mexico. I was born in Boyle Heights, which is the east part of LA, but I grew up primarily in the burbs, and I grew up really in between two cultures, in between very Mexican communities and also like very American communities. Hija tu Madre has really helped me find community and build relationships with people who've struggled with the same identity crisis as me, and with a lot of people who are like cultural misfits who are trying to reconcile more than one identity or more than one culture to really figure out who it is that they are and create a place for themselves in this world. And I pull a lot of inspiration from phrases that I grew up hearing when I was a little kid. Definitely a lot of Spanglish sayings like make jefa moves or échale ganas. Entrepreneurship is a big part of Latin American culture. My parents are hustlers and they've had many failed businesses, so I think like I've just inherited this entrepreneurial spirit, and I think a lot of my peers have too. I feel like there's just so much hustle in our communities that it just like it feels natural to default to creating our own businesses and creating our own opportunities. Or like my generation is creating a new avenue for themselves to tell their own stories, and they're doing it through their businesses and through their art. And it's just important to tell your own story, especially when other people aren't telling your perspective. You got to do it for yourself. And I think that's what my generation and my peers have been doing.
Through her lifestyle brand, Delgado aims to capture and celebrate the complexity that is being Latinx. And her authenticity in doing so is refreshing. It makes sense that Latinx entrepreneurs would want to incorporate their culture into the project or business they launch. And there's no better place to witness that than on the streets of LA.
Beautiful, sunny Los Angeles, city of stars, and also home to about 2 million Latinx who make up almost half of LA's population. Latinx entrepreneurs aren't just launching businesses at a faster rate than any other demographic, they're also finding ways to infuse aspects of our culture with the things they create. Like Dulze, who found a way to make Mexican wheat candy?
We are the first Mexican-owned gummy brand in California. I became executive chef at 21, and I soon moved up the ladder in my hometown. I've been a fan of cannabis since college. I'm Mexicano, so drinking is like a big thing for us. So cannabis really helped me balance things out. When I first made these polvorones, so everybody knows what polvorones are, the sugar cookies you get at quinceañeras or weddings. So I made a small version of that with cannabis, and I took it over to Mexico. So my grandma was sitting right next to me, and she would tell me, "Mijo, I feel too good." And I was like, "Grandma, yeah, it's the cannabis kicking in, don't worry." She's like, no, mijo, I feel way too good. This isn't gonna last forever, is it? And I was like, "Grandma, if this lasts forever, we're gonna be millionaires, you know, like we're good." And just seeing that was like, okay, yes, this is what I'm gonna go do. I don't know what's gonna happen, but we're gonna go for it, and I'm gonna work as hard as I can and make it happen. So that's why it's Abuelita approved, because of them, I jumped completely into this industry and, you know, gave it a shot. As a chef, high quality food. So as an edible brand, high quality edibles. Gummies, there's nothing real for Latinos when it comes to flavor profiles. Everyone's using different kinds of extracts, and they're not telling the consumer what extract it is. So with us, we're very transparent on how we do our edibles and how we make them. I mean, I'm a big dreamer growing up in Mexico and just knowing that I am American, but you don't live there yet because this and the border and whatever the situation is, it always made me hungry for the best, you know?
They got some non-medicated ones, so I'm gonna try the margarita just to see if it's true what he's saying. Oh my gosh, not true.
Do it. Right?
Wow.
So lemon, lime, and tequila essence, and then the coating to really tie in the whole gummy as one.
You can tell it's fresh, you know, like the ingredients that you guys use.
Yeah,
because it
top
tastes
quality.
like candy, but it tastes like fancy candy, I would call it. Well, thank you so much,
muchas
man.
gracias.
I wish you the best on this journey.
Gracias.
So after all that candy, I think you're gonna be hungry. So it's time for some tacos. I just heard there's these one-carb tortillas from two Latinx brothers looking to shake up the industry. Let's check them out.
Mr. Tortilla is a tortilla manufacturer and an e-commerce company. We sell tortillas online. We're the #1 seller of tortillas online in the world, #1 on Amazon as well. And what makes us different is that we made Mexican food healthy. So our tortillas are 1 net carb and 15 calories. The hardest part for us, why it took so long, is we wanted to make sure that tortillas, not only are they healthy, but they're delicious, right? And we're so confident that we used to tell everyone, buy our tortillas, and if you don't like them, we'll give you your money back guaranteed. What happened was that it was a Friday, and me and my brother were hungry, and it was a Friday night. And in LA, in every other corner, there is a taco spot, right? So we went and got around 10 tacos each, but afterwards you had a taco bill. Oh my God, I just ate 10 tacos, and each of them will have 2 tortillas, and all the carbs and all the calories. And then we said to one another, and I kind of came up with the idea, I was like, hey, what if we made tacos healthy? From there to make it a reality, it took forever, but thank God we were able to do it. My brother was able to develop this recipe, and thank God it's been a hit ever since. People love our product. People follow us at Mr. Tortilla on Instagram and Facebook, Twitter, TikTok. We have a great community that makes all kinds of recipes with our tortillas, and they love it. From chilaquiles, to enchiladas, to nachos, to anything you can think of that uses a tortilla. We're a great substitute for a regular corn tortilla. And I want everyone to know, we love corn tortillas, right? I love them. But sometimes when you're doing a diet or you're trying to lay off the carbs and trying to eat healthier, it's great to have an option that you can count on.
Just like the Alcázar brothers put their own spin on a culinary tradition to launch their business, so did the folks behind Paletas Morelias, a Miami-based ice cream shop specializing in handcrafted gourmet paletas.
My name is Gilbert Arismendi. I'm the general manager and co-owner of Morelia Gourmet Paletas, and we sell Mexican paletas. It's just a mix of your traditional concept of Mexican paletas with gourmet elements to it, like gelato flavors and very high quality ingredients.
¿Por qué paletas?
Well, I think it wasn't necessarily about like finding a gourmet food. It was about like we love the paletas, and we really thought we could create an experience around an amazing product that it's normally or traditionally made out of natural ingredients.
Can you tell me about the Morelia name?
Yes.
Why Morelia?
Well, we wanted to pay homage to the region where the paletas were initially became more popular. The name happened to encapsulate everything that we wanted to communicate with our brand and our product. We started almost 5 years ago. Our first location opened in September 2016, and it's been an amazing journey.
So would you mind showing me around the store
Absolutely,
a little bit?
please come in. So at any given time, we have 16 different flavors to cater to most tastes. For example, we have a passion fruit paleta filled with condensed milk, and we have a banana paleta filled with Nutella, and those are amazing too.
Well, the condensed milk, that reminds me of my childhood. Because I remember drinking that stuff straight out of the can.
Yes.
But now you can have it in a paleta,
And
which is
it
amazing.
tastes amazing because the sourness of the passion fruit with the condensed milk kind of works.
Oh, wow. That's up my alley.
Yeah.
Well, these are beautiful. I mean, they're also kind of just works of art. If your sweet tooth ever needs a culture check, you'll want to check this place out. When it comes to channeling our identity, food is always a good way to go. But what about the power of scent? Aisha Cort has discovered a way to capture pieces of her Afro-Latinx roots and distill them into various scents for her environmentally friendly candle company, Vela Negra. The fragrances remind her of life in Cuba and Puerto Rico, two places she's been lucky enough to call home.
Vela Negra is a line of black wax vegan coconut soy candles that are inspired by my Cuban and Guyanese heritage. I started making candles when I was a kid with my grandmother, and it's continued on kind of as a stress relieving outlet. And with the pandemic, I finally had time to sit down and really think about what I wanted a candle to look like that I was gonna have in my home that I would share with others. Started out just kind of making small batches. Each of the fragrances, even down to the body scrubs and the line that's coming out in fall, are inspired by some element of either Cuban heritage, Guyanese heritage, places that I've lived like Puerto Rico. A fragrance like Ashe. When somebody in my family says Ashe, it's a greeting, it's a blessing, it's something deep that you feel. It's like when people say bendición, we say Ashe, right? Morena is, everybody in my family calls me Morena. And I wanted to create a smell that felt like that. So morena feels like chocolate, it feels like love, it feels like a warm embrace. I get really into this. So I wanted scents that could connect, that weren't what you usually find in the stores, that were worth you bringing them into your home.
Even in a strong economy, managing a small business can be extremely challenging, much less during a global pandemic when many businesses were forced to close, some permanently. All year long, we've heard about how pandemic shutdowns disproportionately impacted Latinx-owned businesses. But for Latinas, it was worse, with twice as many Latina-led companies experiencing closure compared to Latino-led businesses.
Nueva York, the city where dreams are made of. New York is home to both big and small businesses, and right now we just got the green light to go back to the movies.
Hey y'all, good morning. Ice cold piragua, cherry, strawberry, and just for today I got my mate. It's a story of a block that was disappearing.
The genius is back! Latino audiences had the highest rate of moviegoing last year, according to the Motion Picture Association of America. Entrepreneurship in the Afro-Latinx community is ever present, from the Piragüeros in Washington Heights to brick-and-mortar booksellers like Cafe con Libros in Brooklyn. We are here. Estamos aquí!
Meet Emmeline Stewart, Dominicana, and owner of the Stewart Cinema and Cafe in Greenpoint, Brooklyn.
We're more than just a movie theater. So that is number one. There's a church that meets here on Sundays. There's a children's program on Saturday and Sunday mornings where they watch movies. We have senior programs. We have political rallies here. We have all kinds of community events. And we have just a multitude of things that go on here, presentations. So businesses are using it. There are studios filming in the area, and so they're able to use our space to hold their extras, to watch their work in progress. So it really has become a hub for the community, and that's actually how we got through COVID.
How it feels to be the only Black Latina owner of a movie theater in New York City.
I don't like being the only, as you know, that it's because there's a lot of pressure. You know, I always think if this doesn't work out, you know, it's not just me.
Yes.
It's a lot of people like myself who have dreams. And I don't want them to be afraid. I want people to take risks. So it is a lot of pressure, I feel, but also I'm just really inspired by the support.
Yeah.
Because people know that this is a Black Latina-owned movie theater, and yet they're here every day. So it's in so many ways, you know, just being that little Dominican girl from Brooklyn, it's amazing. It's an amazing feeling, and I take it really seriously.
Entrepreneurship is integral to the Afro-Latinx experience, and in a place like NYC, they are vital to the communities they serve. The Stewart Cinema is just one example of the superior value our businesses have and the reason they should be celebrated and supported.
These stories make me wonder, could an entrepreneurial spirit lie at the very core of our community's DNA? Much like our inability to remain still at the sound of a good beat, or our incessant need to add salsa y limon to everything we ingest. I don't know. I struggle with rhythm, prefer mild salsa, and every small business I've ever started has fizzled. So maybe the answer is irrelevant. At the end of the day, investing in our community is just good business. And Latinx-owned companies in particular have the added advantage of being able to authentically infuse their culture into their product to appeal to a massive and rapidly growing consumer demographic. Because nuestra gente isn't going anywhere. Except maybe to go try a weed-infused horchata gummy in Cali, because that's just genius. I'm Gabriela Fresquez for Radar 2021. Thanks for watching Radar 2021. Please like, subscribe, and comment down below and let us know what issues are important to you. Because let's be honest, there are a lot of issues to choose from. So many.